Welcome to Alphaletz. We have a brand new update for you today, incorporating a new feature called Find and Match, which will help you quickly reconcile your rents and expenses when you link the system to your bank account. We've also improved and updated the mobile app, so please make sure you're on the latest version in the App Store and Google Play Store. So let's get straight into Find and Match so I can show you how the system is going to save you even more time with this great new feature. When you click on Find and Match, the system will automatically search through all the transactions and look for rent payments that match the tenancy agreement. You can then simply confirm all the matching transactions or even edit any of them one by one at any time. The transactions highlighted in green are the ones that the system has found that match the rents that are expected, and you'll also see it's found some completed transactions and duplicates too, highlighted here in orange. So now if we go to the rent scheduler in the property page, we can see all the rent payments in one place. Any payments that have been linked from the bank will show a little bank icon against the payment here, although I can still manually mark a payment paid with one click like this if I choose. If I do this manually, you will see that there is no icon next to the payment so that I know how it was reconciled. Okay, so let me show you this in a bit more detail and how to get the system working for you. Firstly, go to the property list and search on the property that you want to add the rents to. Next, add the details of the tenancy by adding a new lease. It's best to add the tenant name first so that it appears in the drop-down like this. And the same applies if you're using a letting or managing agent that takes a monthly fee, for example. Then select the start date of the tenancy agreement, how long you want it to run for, you can customize that at any point, and then put in the rent amount and how often the rent is going to be paid. If you use an agent that deducts a fee from the rent, like a letting agent, just add it in here. Select the agent and categorize the fee so that it makes tax time easier when you run your reports. You can also invite your tenants to sign up for utilities through the system, where you'll earn a monthly commission. You can also send them automated emails to remind them that the rents are due or haven't been paid. We have lots of other videos explaining this in more detail on our social media channels such as YouTube. Once I click Save, the system will ask me if I want to bring in all the previous rents manually like this. This time I'm going to click No because I'm going to do it from the bank automation. So now when I go to the rent scheduler, I can see all the payments are outstanding and overdue, which is why they're all highlighted in purple. If I know the rents have come in, I can always manually mark them as paid like this, which is absolutely fine because the system will search for duplicates anyway when I hook it up to the bank account. So what I'll do now is I'll mark 2 or 3 payments as paid, and in a moment I'll go back to the bank accounts here on the left-hand menu, and I'll perform a search on the tenant payments by entering the reference or the name here. You'll see that all the payments have been found, so now I'm going to click on the Find and Match so that I can very easily enter them against the property. So I'm going to click on Reconcile All, at which point the system will ask me which property or even which unit within a property, like for an HMO for example, that I want to reconcile the payments for. I'm going to click on Limetree, then it's going to ask me which tenancy agreement I want to enter the payments for, and then I click Go. The system has searched through all the payments that are due and matched them to the payments from the bank. It's even found a few duplicates because remember a few moments ago I manually clicked Mark Paid in the rent scheduler. So I can confirm these rent payments by clicking one by one like this, merge in all the duplicates, or just accept all the changes in one go by clicking the button on the top right here. Once I've done that, you'll see that all the payments are completed, and I can even merge in the duplicates very easily with one click like this too. So now when I go back to the bank accounts tab, all the rents that were in review have moved in the categorize tab here. I can see my tenant and the property that the rents have been reconciled against. And remember, we are showing the net income here as this is what actually came into the bank. So if there was a letting agent fee, it has already been deducted from the gross rent. Now I'll click back on the property. As I started the tenancy in January 2021 on an 18-month contract, the system has entered all the rents and asked me if I want to renew this lease or not. For the moment, I'm not going to do anything, just close the reminder box so I can see the payments. And here we can see all the rents reconciled with a little bank icon against each payment. I can also see the monthly letting fee of £50, showing me the net payment of £500 received into my account. Now, as this tenancy agreement ended in July, I'm going to renew this lease for another 12 months to July of next year. I could up the rent here if it had changed, but for now I'm just going to renew at the same rate. Again, the system will ask me if I want to manually add all rent payments, so with one click I'm going to say yes this time. Now you can see these payments here, but with no bank icon, so I know that they've been added manually. If I scroll down, I can still see all the payments that are scheduled in the future too. So if I go back to the Bank Accounts tab and repeat the process, I can now see I have two options in the drop-down. I'll click Current again, click Go, and the system has found 6 duplicates that I have already entered manually. So I'm going to merge them all in like this, and you'll notice at the bottom of the page we're still showing some payments that are not matched. That's because the payment isn't due yet and we're still in December. So I'll exit this, and now you can see that all the rents have moved from review, so I know they are all reconciled, and I can check this by clicking into the Categorize tab here. And then back in the rent scaler page, all the rents are showing here. And as we merge them together, they're now all showing the bank icon too. I can even click on the last payment from the drop-down and see that all those payments have been made too, and there are no arrears. If for any reason you want to undo a payment or edit the amount, that's easy too. If they're past due, they will also then flag as overdue in the purple warning, as you can see here. And if you ever unlink your bank for any reason, your payments will always be stored in the system and won't be lost. Okay, let's go back to the dashboard. Let's go to the property list, find our property, and click back into the rent scheduler. So let's go back to the dashboard and search on LimeTree. When I click on here, if I scroll down to the bottom of the page, you can see the cash flow graph specifically for LimeTree. I can see the income and I can see the expenses. The income is the rent and the expenses is the letting fee. And I can see that there's 2 payments missing. That's August and October. So let's click back into that and have a look why. So if I click on the rent scheduler again, remember those 2 payments that I undid? So I'm now going to remark them as paid. I'm just going to do it manually like this. Go back to the dashboard, search again on LimeTree. And now at the bottom of the page, you can see all the rents in and all the expenses. And we can see there's no arrears here on the left as well. Now also, anything you do on the web will sync up to the mobile app. The mobile app is available on the App Store and the Google Store, and it's available right now for download. Okay, so here we are back on the dashboard, and I'm going to show you one final thing to do with expenses. So let's see how we can find and match expenses. I'll go back to the bank accounts, and let's pick an item here. We've got Spark Fun. You can see that's an expense because it's in red for £89.40. I've found all the matching transactions. I can uncheck some if I want, if I know I've already reconciled them or for whatever reason I don't want to pull those in. I put in the payee, so let's say that's for AJ Electrical. And I have an option to link it to a property or not. In this instance, I'm going to link it. Let's link it back to LimeTree. I can put in the category as well. This again makes it great for tax time because everything's already categorized when you run your reports. And I'm going to put in a description down here as well. This is also useful because you can search on descriptions from the smart report, so it's always worth putting in here. And also it'll just remind you what it's for anyway. So now all those payments have moved into the categorize tab. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to search on the AJ Electrical, and I can see all those transactions have been found. And if I click on the property page, it'll take me into the expense tab in the property page. And here I can see that all those expenses add up to 1968. If I clear the search tab, I can see that all the expenses for all, not just AJ Electrical, but everything is over 3,000. And again, I can retype in AJ Electrical and it just reworks out the exact amount that I've spent with that particular supplier. So really powerful insights from the dashboard and against your properties. And we've really designed it to make it a very simple and easy to use user interface. So now all those new expenses are added on to the graph at the bottom of the page here, and it gives me perfect business insights into the health of the property business. I hope you really enjoyed that video. Please remember to subscribe to our social media channels and be the first to know on any new updates. We really appreciate you watching today and hope you get great value out of the product. Thank you for watching.